All right. So far, we have talked about 3 different formulas. Let's go ahead and put away our phones. We are learning a new key today. So we're introducing a new key. I need everybody's attention. You got to pay attention. I'm not going to re-explain something because you're on your phone. All right, this is our first formula. Well, this was our first one. And then we went on to this one, 1 minus r. And then yesterday, this was our formula. And again, if you weren't here yesterday, that is posted on the homepage. So these are the 3 formulas we talked about so far. Okay, the first one is if it's increasing annually. The second one is if it's decreasing annually. So let me write that. This one is increasing annually. So that means that you don't see a word like monthly, weekly, daily. It just says increases. This second one is if it is decreasing annually. And the last one when it's increasing but it's compounded at a different rate. Compounded. So it's increasing but it's not annually. It could be monthly, daily. So N does not equal 1. It could be a 2 for semi-annually. It could be a 12 for monthly. It could be 52 for weekly, 4 for quarterly. That's when we use that one, okay? I think the hardest part, because we give you all of these formulas, is for you to figure out what formula we use, okay? So I label these A, B, and C. So I'm going to read the question, and then I'm going to ask you all what formula you would use. So the question says, in the year 2020, Mrs. Pike purchased a house for $210,000. The value of her home increases. That's an important word. At a rate of 4%. What will the value of her home be in 2030? So what formula can I automatically cross out? Because it says it's increasing. Which one can I automatically cross out? A, B, or C? B. You know it's not B. You're going to take that away. So now we're down to A and C. Does it say it's compounding at a rate other than annually? If it was not annually, it would say compounded weekly, monthly, daily. Do we have any of those words in our question? Does it have any kind of compound frequency at all? So we are going to use A. A. So when we type it in our calculator, her home was $210,000. And it increased, so I'm using the plus sign, 4%. When I change 4% to a decimal, is it 0.4 or 0.04? Who says 0.4? Who says 0.04? Good. Now it says that she bought the house in the year 2020. We want to know how much it'll be worth in 2030. So how many years pass between 2030 and 2020? 10. So T is 10. Go ahead and type that in your calculator. I'm going to put my answer up there. I'm going to freeze my screen because I want you all to practice. Whose answer started with the number 3? Okay. All right, this is what I got. $310,851.30. So in 10 years, she earned $100,000 from her house because her house increased in value. So she could sell it and get $100,000. That's nice. All right, y'all. So we're going to talk about a new mathematical constant. Has everyone heard of pi? What does pi equal? 3.14. All right, good. So I'm actually skipping a page. We're going to come back to 12 later. We're going to go to page 13. We're going to talk about a new key, and it's E. Now, E is mainly used in science, in biology. It's used a lot in biology, a lot in the medical field. E is equal to 2.72. So I'm going to show you where the E key is. There is an actual E key on your calculator. So everyone look on your calculator. I'm just going to draw the calculator. You don't have to draw this. So you have a green second function key. Does everybody see that green key? And then there's, if you go down, 2 keys. It looks like an I, but that's actually an LN. Does everyone see that key? It says LN. Right above that key, you should see E to the power of X. So in order to get E, you have to hit, I want everybody to do this, hit the green key, hit this key, and then I want you to hit this key. And then just type in the number 1 for an exponent and hit enter. Did your calculator say 2.7 and some numbers? Okay, that's how we get E. That's really important because we're going to use E a lot. So in this one, we got a function. This is the function that we're going to use. It's for a certain medicine to figure out how much of the medicine is in your bloodstream after 8 hours, okay? The pill is a 5 milligram pill. This is the formula we're going to use. They gave it to us. We need to figure out how much medicine is present after 1 hour. So that means T equals 1. So in your calculator, you're going to hit 5, and then you're going to get the E key up there. You're going to type in a negative 0.4, and then you're going to multiply that by 1. Go ahead and type that in your calculator just to see if we're getting the right answer. 5, green key, LN, negative 0.4 times 1. You should get approximately, I'm rounding it to the 10th place, 3.4 milligrams. So in 1 hour, your body absorbed 1.6 milligrams and you have 3.4 milligrams left. Now, I'm going to ask this question. I know we all shy. It's early in the morning. We don't feel like talking. But if you did not get that answer, I need for you to raise your hand so I can help you, because we're using this key all day.
Did you round up?
I rounded up. Yeah, if you put 3.3, that's okay. But technically, 5 or more, you raise the score or something like that. But 3.3, 3.5, 3.3, 3.4 is okay. All right, now we're going to use that same formula again to figure out how many milligrams will be in your bloodstream after 6 hours. So now T is 6. 5e negative 0.4 times 6. And I'm going to round it. Again, your calculator says 0.45. But since the number after 4 is a 5, I'm going to round it up. But I think nurses probably wouldn't round it up, though. But I don't know. I'm not a nurse. All right, any questions about how to get the E key? All right. So now let's look at number 2. A video posted on YouTube initially had 80 views as soon as it was posted. The total number of views to date has been increasing exponentially according to the exponential growth model. So see, we have a new function. That's my new function. Now 80. If you haven't noticed, the first number is your starting number. So in number 1, we started with 5 milligrams. That's why we started our equation with 5. In number 2, we started with 80 views. That's why we started our equation with 80. All right, so it's 80E 0.12 is positive because it's increasing. T is the time in days. So we want to know how many views after 50 days. 50 days. So that means T is 50. Now your number should be going up instead of going down. So we should get that on day 50. You can't have half of a view. So that's a whole number. You should have 32,274 views. All right, any questions about number 2? All right, so remember in the bell work, I said we had three formulas. Now I'm adding formula 4. This is for back to money. If you see the word compounded continuously, highlight, circle that word continuously. So not monthly, not weekly, not daily, not quarterly, but continuously. This is your formula that we're going to use. Just like the old formulas, A is still your ending value. P is still your starting value. R is still your rate. You still have to divide that by 100. And T is still time in years. Except now we're using the E key. Again, only if you see the word continuously. All right, so number 1 says if $1,000, so that's my P value, is compounded continuously at a rate of 7%, so 0.07, how much money will be there after 25 years? So the first thing we do is we write our function rule. When we write our function rule, we keep the T there. We don't type in 25. So it would be A equals, and then we have $1,000 E to the power of 0.07 T. Now we're going to pick up our calculators. It'll be 1,000 E to the power of 0.07 times 25. Go ahead and type that in. You should get a number over 5,000. First two numbers should be 5, 7. Did we get that? 5, 7 for our first two numbers? This is my favorite integrated class. So I got $5,754 and about 60 cents. That would be my answer. Any questions about number 1? All right, let's do number 2. Again, compounded continuously. That's the key word. I want you to go ahead and write your function rule and answer part B by yourself. I'm going to come around and check our answers. Got that right. Okay. All right, let me get my answer and then I will be coming around. I will give you a hint. First number should be 8. Technically do because the number after the 2 is a 9, so it rounds to 3, but ain't nobody arguing over a penny, so we don't get mad if they short. Good. All right. So you should get $845.23. If you put 22 cents, you know, nobody's arguing about a penny, right? We're not arguing over a penny. But it should be technically 23 cents. All right, so now let's pull it all together and just do a mixture. So let's look at, I think I want to do, let me see. I want to do 2. Let's go ahead and skip down to 2. So we got 3 different questions. All 3 of these use different formulas, okay? So these are our formulas at the top. We haven't talked about this one yet, so ignore that one for now. So we have A equals P, this is 1 plus R to the power of T. A equals P 1 minus R to the power of T. I'm going to call this formula A and this one formula B. And then we have this formula, which I'm going to call C. And we have this formula, which we're going to call D. So we got Big Apple Bagels. They deposit $70,000. Hi, it's okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. I didn't even see her out there, Maya. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay. So we got Big Apple Bagels. They deposit $70,000 in an account that earns 3.8% interest. So P is my starting amount. If it's 3.8 interest, is that 0.38 or 0.038? What is it? 0.038. Got to put that 0 in there. We want to know how much money will the company have after 18 years. So this is T. All right, so A, what formula am I using? A, B, C, or D? It says compounded annually. Which one do you think I'm going to use? A. You use this one if it's increasing annually. That's when we use that one. So let's go ahead and set that up. So for that first one, I'm going to type in 70,000 parentheses 1 plus 0.038 to the power of 18. Type that in your calculators. The first two numbers should be 13. So your first two numbers should be 1 and 3. Let me see if we're getting it, because we got to get these right. Module 5 should be a pretty easy test for us. All right, so I got 136,977 and about 87 cents. Again, we're not concerned about a penny. Technically, the 86 should round to 87. All right, now let's look at B. B says compounded monthly. What formula are we using now? A, B, C, or D? C, because it's compounded monthly. So now N equals 12. So when we type that in, we're going to type in 70,000. 1 plus, hit the fraction button, 0.038 over 12 to the power of 12 times 18. Go ahead and type that in. Your number should be close to A. It should still be like 130, maybe 140, but no more than that. All three of our answers should be pretty close together. You got it now. Good morning, this is Ms. Bryant. Yes. Absolutely. We'll be done in about 10 minutes. Okay, thank you. Bye. Okay, so I got got $138,575.39. Who got that? All right, last one. C says continuously. I'm running out of space, so I got to make a little. All right, continuously. What formula am I using now? D. So we're going to type in our calculator 70,000 E 0.038 parentheses 18. This should be the highest of the three, but not by much. So it's just a little bit more than B. Well, not a little bit, but like $100 and some more. All right, and that was my answer for part C. $138,725.23. All right, any questions about our formulas? All right, the last one we're going to do is number 3. 3 says you have a local high school that has 700 seniors. So that's my starting amount. The amount of seniors attending the senior sunrise, circle this word, decreases annually at a rate of 6%. So R is 0.06. How many seniors will attend the senior sunrise after 5 years? So going back to our formulas, this is when we would use what formula? Which formula am I going to use now? A, B, C, or D? B, because it's decreasing. It is subtracting. So we're going to type that in our calculator. We'll have 700. 1 minus 0.06 to the power of 5. Your number should be going down. We're talking about people, so we have whole numbers. Who got 513 seniors? All right, good. All right, so again, our homework. This is wrong. I thought Monday was President's Day. It's due Monday, and that is 2/9. Let's go ahead and look at that homework together.